when I first heard him, I think Keith Richards said this too, that we all thought he was being accompanied by someone. It sounded like, no, it wasn't unusual in those days. You often had a piano player and a guitar player, or two guitar players. And it wasn't until later that I realized you could do it, what he does, but you have to really, I mean, I've had to work really hard in the last few days to try and do some of the things that I needed to do to play alone. And my take on Robert Johnson so far is that it needs two people to play what he plays and sing at the same time. And on top of what I'm describing, he had a completely freestyle approach to any kind of structure too, so that, you know, if it was given that it was a 12-bar structure he was working in, on some, you know, on one verse it would maybe 13 or 14. He would just extend parts or shorten them according to how he felt, or, you know, what he needed to do next. And that makes it really difficult to impersonate, because if you're going to emulate this stuff, you kind of reach a point where you think, well, shall I do an approximation, or is it necessary to really sit down and completely copy it? And I think to do that would be a life's work. I mean, seriously, would be a life's work for any musician. There's really one thing, the thing that he does, there's a style that he plays where he plays in a sort of cross tempo. And when he goes to the B section, the second part of the song, given that it's a 12-bar, he plays something underneath his voice which is sort of independent in time. And what it is say the song is B section is now, and over the top of that he sings a line in a different time. Da 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 da. I got. I mean, to do those two things at the same time, until I still can't. I can't do it completely right. I can kind of get an approximation, but I mean, it's almost one of those things when you listen to it, it just sounds so relaxed, and yet when you come to try it and do it, you find out how almost virtually impossible it is. And I've had to work on this every morning and every night for the last week to try and just do one song like that.